Hi everyone, Samuel Howe from Alliance Group here, and I have the pleasure of being joined by Five Rings Executive Vice President and President of the Brazillionaires Group, Mr. Gustavo Couto. Gustavo, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you, Samuel. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. You have an amazing story, and I want to be able to share that with the folks that are watching this video today. So start by telling us a little bit more about you and how you actually got started in this industry, because it's a great story.
Yes, of course. My background was not in the financial services industry. I had never sold anything or talked to anybody about their own personal finances. I was always interested in for myself, for what should I do with my money. But I was in the computer industry, in the financial technology industry, helping people with building systems for a large engineering company. Great job, great opportunity. I was making good money. I had a great position at my job, but I didn't feel like I had a purpose. It wasn't something that I had a higher calling on doing that, something that made me the sense of purpose in what I was doing. So I was looking for something.
Right.
And sure enough, I found it. If you look, you find. Yeah. I found in the opportunity talking to Mary Fisher from Five Rings Financial. We sat next to each other on a plane, and she told me about her company and the fact that she worked for this company that taught people about money. That sentence, I teach people about money, really caught my interest. And then I said, that's pretty exciting. Tell me more about that. And long story short, here I am.
Wow, that's unbelievable. So you worked for a while as an agent, just as a
Yes.
solo agent, right? And you were finding a lot of success there. When did you actually make that decision to go from being just one agent working kind of solo,
right,
to taking the step to start building an agency of your own?
Yeah, so once I started, my main purpose was to get out of my job and replace my income. So I focused on being the best agent I could be. I took all the trainings, I watched all the training videos, webinars, training programs, everything I could get my hands on. And I saw that progressing well, and I made a point where I could replace my income with the income from the financial industry. Mm-hmm. That's when I quit my job and stayed full-time as a consultant. But at some point, I found that I had the freedom of money because I was working for myself, but I didn't quite have the total freedom of time. Mm-hmm. I felt that if I stopped working, like I got sick or something happened to me, that time I was not working, no income would come in. So I felt that I need a backup. I need to really build a business and not just a self-employed job. So I focused on, from that point on, into building an agency and an organization.
That's amazing. So it's talking about going from just worrying about yourself and your own business and your own clients to taking that pretty big step of building an agency that had to be a little bit scary, right? I mean,
yeah.
that's a big change.
Yeah, there were two big scares in my mind. The first one was a little bit of I was afraid of a potential loss of credibility. So let me explain that to you. In our environment, and I think in the industry in general, there is a lot of bad stigma about recruiting and training people to a new company or a new organization, especially because people immediately think, oh, this is a network marketing scheme or a pyramid scheme. So I was blocked by that. I felt that people would start thinking that I was doing something wrong, or they would question my integrity in the business. Mm-hmm. But then I was also my own self-critic, because I said, you know what, I'm the most skeptical person that I know.
Right.
And here I am in the most regulated industry, the financial services industry, where every single professional that joined this industry has to go through a series of processes. I mean, first think about, they have to study for a class, study for a test, qualify from the study, to take a test in the state. They have to pass the state test exam. Then they have to be approved by the state, which requires them to go through a fingerprint evaluation and background check, so that finally the state can give them a license to run their business. Now, once they're licensed, they still have to keep going. They have to buy errors and omission insurance. Mm-hmm. They have to apply for every single financial organization that they want to represent. And those companies will again investigate their background before they can say, yes, you can talk about our products. Yep. So it's a highly regulated industry.
And they have to do continuing education after that.
All of that
on
top of that.
Basis.
And I'm thinking, how can that even be remotely associated with any kind of pyramid or any kind of scheme? So I said, I'm going to get over that fact, just by the fact that every single professional has to go through that. And we explain this to every single person who joins our training program. Mm-hmm. We explain to them how the process is before they can finally be in business.
That's amazing. So actually, talking about processes, you've done an amazing job, and watching the Brazillionaire group grow has been unbelievable these past few years. So if you can, what's your process? What's your secret? What's your process in recruiting and building people?
Absolutely. To be one of the fastest growing group or agency in our 5 rings model right now, it's like a great honor. But it was not because luck. It was because we actually thought about this from a different angle. Think about it this way. Most companies today, when they hire a new employee, they don't want to train that employee. So they go through a process of requiring a resume, past experience, interviewing that person, making sure they come from the same industry, just from a different company. So they want to have those people, they only hire people who are ready already. What we decided by following the 5 rings model was to flip that upside down. Let's do all the training and let's open the doors to everybody. Instead of having a closed door policy forbidding people from changing careers or joining this industry, I bought the idea of let's open the doors of the financial industry to everyone who is willing to. And as they come in with no past experience, with little bit of experience, we will train them and develop them, like you said.
Yeah.
So we built upon this training program methodology to really, as many people want as they want, can come in, join our training program, and then follow the steps to finally be a licensed and effective consultant in the industry.
Right. Well, that process has proven to be really successful for you. You guys are growing like crazy.
It's working out.
It's working out really well for you. So,
Right.
do you ever have any concerns in all of that recruiting, bringing all of those people in? Are there any concerns that come up about creating competition or even oversaturating the market?
Yes, people talk about that all the time. I mean, some people come and join our organization. They tell me things like, "Oh, you already know everybody."
Right.
I mean, think about this. It's impossible for me to know everybody.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's always people coming and going and changing their lives and change their careers and need some different financial services help. So it's an unlimited potential, an unlimited opportunity in the way to look at that. But also from the other angle of, oh, you're opening the door to everybody. All these people are coming in are going to be my competitors. Think about this. The doors are open. Just like, think about a church. The doors of the church is open for anyone. But not everybody comes in there and is disciplined enough to follow the process, to learn the program and study the Bible or whatever theology they're studying and actually change their lives. The same thing here in our industry. When they come through the door, they have to be disciplined, dedicated. They really have to have a will to win, to study, to pass the test, to follow the methodology, the training program, and finally become effective. But by the time they're finally effective in this industry, because we went through this process together, we are used to working together, collaborating in a more collaborative mode than ever, because we didn't hire a bunch of people who are competing to each other. Remember,
Right.
we hired people that are training with each other, helping each other to succeed. So by the time we succeed, we're friends and we can work together really well. And that's what I think makes a big difference in changing the mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could give one piece of advice to somebody who was watching this video today, and I know you have lots of pearls of wisdom that you probably have, but if you could give one piece of advice to someone watching this video today, what would that be?
My first advice is, if you already are a successful financial professional and you're watching this video and you haven't yet built an agency around you or with you, my advice is start doing that. Start creating that opportunity for other people, because you can change someone's lives. You are not only by helping them with their finances, but also helping them with their career, with all these potential possibilities. That's the most important thing. That's almost like the biggest purpose for me right now. And if you don't mind, I want to share you a story.
Sure.
How that click happened for me, right? So I decided, hey, I'm going to build a business for selfish purposes. I wanted freedom of time, I told you.
Right.
I just want to have people working so that I don't have to worry about working. And a few people joined and they started training with us. But there was this one kid that joined our company. I call it a kid because he's younger than me, but he's in his 30s. He came in and he was hurting. He didn't have a job, but he was very dedicated, focused. He passed his license in 7 days. 7 days I said, hey, take a test. You have to do this, this, and that. 7 days later, he calls me and says, hey, I'm done. What do I need to do next? I said, what did you do? Did you enroll the class?
Right.
Is that what he
right.
did? No, I passed. I'm done. I have the license.
That's impressive.
So I said, well, come and let's start working. And he said, can I follow you around just so I learn? I said, no, that's not quite how it works. So we went through the process of how it worked. And we started training him. I started training him personally. And this one night he came in and he had his little kid with him. So I'm sitting here working with him and his clients, training him in that process we call field training. And his kids sat there the whole afternoon, waiting for his dad to come out. And once he left, I remember looking at this little kid and thinking to myself, you know, I'm really working for him because I'm helping his dad build a business so that he has his freedom to be with his son. And I knew how dedicated he was. And to see this guy come in from that situation and be one of our executives today, top earner producers, change his life completely and have his kid not only changed his life, but travel with my kids. We went through all the conventions that you see. That becomes my higher purpose. And now this guy is doing the same for other people. He's training and develop other agencies, changing their lives.
Paying it forward.
So pay it forward. That's the key advice I would give to any financial professional. You already have the knowledge. Pay it forward. Have somebody else train somebody else, build somebody else up, and you see how much rewarding that is. It's not about the money at the end of the day. So that's for the financial professional. But if I would give an advice to anybody who is not in this industry but watching this video for whatever reason, there is no accident, right? You are watching this for a reason, and you got this far for a reason. And might be that the reason is you might want to consider joining an organization that can train you in the financial services industry. The financial services industry has been an amazing industry for us, for my family, for all the families that work with us. So if you're watching this and you're not in the industry but you are interested, think about it. Take the next step and just take one step at a time. Just go after, do it, give yourself a chance. That might change your life as well.
Well, it's an amazingly inspirational story, and on behalf of everyone watching this video, Gustavo, thank you so much.
Thank you
for joining us. Thanks for everything you do for
for
your clients, for your agents, for Five Rings, and for Alliance Group. So
you're
that's
welcome.
it. Yeah, absolutely. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching.